under your active causes on You Are the Power, you've got Corey and Diane Sullivan, Matt and
Yeah.
Taki Hernandez, Brady and Carrie Timms, Jocelyn and Josiah Sanders. I mean, there's a pretty common theme between all of these people, and that is their families have been separated.
Yeah.
And are you seeing more of these cases now that you've established You Are the Power?
So there's two things that are happening. The first is, yes, we're getting. It was the Hernandez family that we first heard about. Actually, last year we heard about, and it was right towards the end of it. We kind of helped in the last little bit to push the cause across the finish line and to win. But we heard about a family, Rodney and Tamisha Jackson, whose newborn baby was taken from them because they chose to have their baby at home with a midwife, and their pediatrician didn't like that. And he said, "Oh, well, your baby seems a little jaundiced." And they said, "Okay, well, we'll tell the midwife and have her do the treatment at home." And he didn't like that either. So he called CPS, and within 12 hours they seized the child. There was no suspicion of anything. They literally just seized the child. We were kind of on the tail end of that, but we helped get helped get the word out and get a bunch of pressure on Dallas police and CPS, and they gave baby Mila back to Rodney and Tamisha. At the time, I thought that was an outlier. I didn't realize that was as widespread as it was. Then we found out about the Hernandez family, Matt and Tucky Hernandez, and then when we went public with that case, families started coming out of the woodwork left and right in Georgia, in Texas, and in other states. And we realized this was not only not an outlier, but the more we dig into it, the more we realize the federal government is basically funding a 50-state child trafficking operation through Title 4D of the Social Security Act. And basically, without going into the weeds with it, every time that a child protective service says that a child is being abused, they get federal money. Every time that child is placed up for foster care, is put in a foster home, they get more money. Every time that child ends up being placed permanently for adoption, they get way more money. And if that child has a chronic health condition, they get way more money. So what they do is they find kids with chronic health conditions, they call it abuse. They railroad the families and split apart the children from their parents. And then after they do all of that, they then acknowledge that the kid has a chronic health condition, and they get a lot of money.
Spike, I love you just for diving into this, your organization, because it happened to me. I lost my son. This happened back in 2013.
Oh, no.
3 years of battling. And I remember in 2016 just trying to find groups where this could be happening elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it was so new, and we did a show on it last week, and it seemed like the policy changes started in 2011, the new critiquing of how CPS would handle children. And in 2022 or 2023, 7.3 million kids have been relocated United States. West Virginia is the worst, with over 6,400 children that have been relocated. And when you would tell this story to people, especially mine, I made a lot of mistakes going down that road because I was clueless. And I got railroaded when I didn't even know I was getting railroaded.
You had done nothing wrong and had no reason to think that the state was going to weaponize your own statements against you to steal your child, because who the hell thinks the government would do that?